Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. Today, we are going to talk about things that I heard on a podcast right out of an investment guy's mouth. And I was annoyed by the time I got done. And so we're going to go through those one by one because I think that it is super important that you can think about these things, right? And what he is saying. So they were talking about FOMO, fear of missing out. And so FOMO is like a big thing that people talk about. And so I need to hurry up and go buy crypto because I'm going to miss out on the buy. I need to hurry up and invest in X stock because I missed out on it, right? And so all these people swarm to this one thing because they think they're going to miss out. Guess what we call that? Parkinson's law. And guess what we talk about? Don't be worried about missing out on things. Where everybody else is going may not be the spot you want to be. Think about what those people are doing. Is that the best option? When everybody is buying a home, should you be buying a home? I don't know. It's whatever it is to you. But at the end of the day, it's the same as Parkinson's law. This is how we describe it. Our needs rise to meet our income, right? And so if we think we need to have crypto, we're going to hurry up and go buy crypto. It was just super interesting to me that he is saying, don't do that. Like, don't give in to FOMO. Make sure that you are being smart about it, which is exactly what we are talking about as well. The next thing he said is chasing returns in the short term at explicit expense of the long term. He is talking about people that want short-term, these high short-term rates of return instead of the low. And he talked about the fact that Warren Buffett apparently will buy a 9% investment, long-term investment versus a 10% short-term investment. And people are saying, well, why did you buy the 9% when you could have got 10? And he's like, because 9% over a longer period of time makes sense. And so that too is something that we talk about in this industry, right? The policy is a long-term look. If you can make X amount over the long term and have liquidity of the money, why wouldn't you do that? We have this short-term thought process, and history does not repeat itself. Humans do. And so is history repeating itself with the stock market and how people are investing and crashes and all of this stuff? No, humans' reaction is what is causing the problem with these investments, is what they're saying. So, think about it. The stock market can crash, and as long as it's up, everybody is hunky-dory. Nobody is panicking. I don't panic either way. I don't even watch it because I don't have to. But it's human nature. And human nature is going to be the biggest problem. So why are we thinking so short term when we should be thinking long term? We talk about that all the time. And in the investment world, they especially talk about it because they know short term, there's not going to be a lot there. And so think long term, think long term, think long term. But they just say, stay in there, it'll come back. Stay in there, it'll come back. They're not saying think long term because you're going to have a ton of money there. It's stay in there, it'll come back. That's what we hear most of the time. In this podcast, they actually talked about the fact that every 10 years you're going to lose money, but then they bragged about compounding interest. Oh, people don't know the power of compound interest is what he said. It is glorious. If, people can add numbers together, but when they start multiplying, it's fantastic. Dude, I wanted to reach through my phone. Dude, compound interest means nothing when you interrupt it every 10 years. And he said that every 10 years, you will have a 30% loss. Every 10 years. What happens in 10 years period of time? How much do you have to outperform to get back to where you were? And so he's bragging about compound interest, but he doesn't actually ever talk about interrupting it or uninterrupting it. Uninterrupted compound interest is huge, huge, huge. That is what the policy is giving you. 401ks and IRAs are not giving you. All right. Oh, yes. He said, prepare for the good years, prepare in the good years for the down years, which I thought was also very interesting when we're talking about a loss, an interruption. So you need to put as much in as you possibly can in the good years. So when there's a 30% loss, you're prepared in the bad years. So in the good years, put in as much as you can so you can lose it in the bad years. What the hell? What kind of thinking is that? What? I'm going to prepare in the good years for a bad year if I have a loss of income, not a loss of the money that I saved. That is, no. I'm going to save as much as I can in the good years so that in the bad years, I have an opportunity to use that money to live, not lose it in a stock market crash. Let me see. What else does he have here? Once a decade, the world will break. Big issues happen. Once a decade. So every 10 years, he was saying that the problem is the unknown. And we don't know when the unknown happens, like 9/11, like COVID, like, the 2001 crash. We don't know when those are going to happen. And so there is the problem. Well, in my opinion, if they know that's going to happen every 10 years, then your broker should be able to manage that, right? He also talked about compound interest secret formula for success. I'm just reading my notes here. The rule of 72. At 7%, if you average a 7% rate of return, your money will double. Every 10, your money will double. I think it's the rule of 72. So if you have 7% rate of return, your money will double. Well, what good does the money do to double if I have a 30% loss every 10 years? Good for me. I doubled my money and I ended up with 20% instead of the other 50, right? If I have a 50% gain and my money doubles and then I subtract 30 from that, I got 20. So my money didn't really double. Try to put as much money away for the long haul. So put as much away as you possibly can, which means then you can't do other things that create cash flow. But give it all to the broker so that he can chase this rate of return so we don't have anything there for cash flow. Really. None of that, absolutely none of that made sense to me. Should you be in it for the long haul? Yeah. When we're talking about life insurance and we know that it's going to have uninterrupted compound interest, absolutely I'm going to be in there for the long haul. But I didn't give up access to my money and I didn't put it at risk to lose it. Here, we're supposed to be in for the long haul because we're going to lose money every decade and then we have to make it back up. So we have to be in for the long haul. And then you have to give them as much money as you possibly can so you don't have anything to live. It sounds like the life I was living before I found infinite banking. I was trying to create cash flow, but I couldn't create cash flow because I was putting money into an IRA and then I was trying to be debt free. Like it's all very contradictory. How about we use a tool that allows us to access money and then we can go do all of those things. And when there is a downturn in the market, maybe possibly real estate, we can have it take advantage of that. There's a thought. The whole thing was just an absolute, especially the compound interest and the fact that we lose money every 10 years. And then we're supposed to stay in there. We're supposed to have long-term thinking and it's supposed to be okay. It's supposed to be okay. And don't rush after things having FOMO. Make strategic decisions. If you're going to make a strategic decision, do you really want your money in the market where you're going to lose every 10 years? Are you going to go, let's just compare this. Are you going to go buy property, real estate? Are you going to start a business where you know every 10 years you are going to lose value in that real estate? You're going to lose value in that business and you're going to have to basically start over every 10 years. Would you do that? Probably not. And so if you're not going to do that, then why would you put money in the market and do it with your retirement? Absolutely doesn't make any sense at all to me. Never did, which is why I love infinite banking. Because the thought process makes sense to me. And then I don't have my money somewhere where it's not earning something and it's got uninterrupted compound interest. Compound interest doesn't mean anything if it's interrupted. Nothing at all. At all. Not only is it interrupted, but it's not liquid. We don't have control of it. Government gets to make the rules. Nope. I heard all of that stuff and thought, oh my gosh, everything that I talk about, he is confirming. He is confirming. And yet he's telling us this is the best place to put money. I don't get it. All right. That was my one little rant. So let me know if you have a podcast that I should listen to, if you have a subject that you want me to talk about, whatever, you let me know and I will look at it and I will possibly talk about it. Mary Jo at withoutthebank.com. If you have not gotten the Life Without the Bank book, go get that. You can get it with Nelson's book. Get both of them together because that will be important. Let me know if you have questions, comments, concerns. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day.